Well, I kind of hesitate to use the word fault because there are a lot of people who get really into categorizing zombies and say, like, zombies can't be fast, zombies can't this, zombies can't that,
Uh-huh.
and, those aren't real zombies in that film. And I'm sort of like a big tent zombie guy.
Uh-huh.
Like, I want to have all kinds of zombies in my tent. And zombies can be fast, and zombies can look at things, and maybe zombies can remember a little. And essentially, I mean, I don't care what people do with zombies as long as they're used for good storytelling.
Great.
The only thing that really upsets me is when people use zombies to tell a bad story, or they try to adhere to rules too much, and then it makes a story crappy. And I'm like, I was just bored for 40 minutes. Like,
Right.
I didn't need all those zombie zombie rules.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I think if I had my way, I would like create an environment where people who write with zombies felt like it was okay to experiment a little bit and come up with their own. Because like you never know what's going to catch on. Like zombies, for example, didn't say brains until a 1985 film called Return of the Living Dead by Dan O'Bannon. You probably studied this in your zombie class.
Actually, that one's not familiar, but I was wondering where the brains came from.
Yeah.
You know?
And just I mean, and that was like going out on a limb. Like a lot of people would say, those aren't zombies. Zombies don't say brains. But now, once that came out and zombie people saw it, everyone went like, yes, that's a thing now. We love that. And it just kind of stuck. So I'm always like, I want the next great zombie director to be experimenting, and maybe he'll come up with the next great thing like brains. So
because
don't worry too much. If you got student zombie filmmakers listening, like, don't worry too much about adhering to the rules. Like, make your own rules.
The brains thing is almost like subconsciously tied to zombies because someone asked me like, what do zombies eat? I'd be like, well, human flesh. But like someone else might just say brains, and it's like, oh, I didn't know zombies were picky about their appetite. But no, that's a really cool point. So earlier you said around 2006 you started writing. Was the Zombie Survival Guide out at that time, or?
I think so, yeah.
Have you read it, or?
Mm-hmm. I don't want to say like close friends with Max, but I know him a lot, and we mess with each other.
Oh,
and
cool.
We were on a panel together at Comic-Con a few months ago about zombies. It was like huge panel, like biggest crowd I think I'd ever spoken to in my life.
Wow.
And I'm sitting next to Max, and just to like F with me, he switches our name tags. So I'm Max Brooks, and I don't know it. And like some people come and they don't know what Max Brooks looks like, so they think it's me. And I was like, "Oh, Max, you cad, you card."
That's funny though. That's cool that he's a cool guy to play around with and stuff. Yeah, because I just feel the Zombie Survival Guide is probably what most people people are most familiar with when it comes to.
It's definitely the bestseller. I always joke that like all of my books put together, I don't think sell what the Zombie Survival Guide sells.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
Yeah, I rebought it because I don't know what happened to my copy of it. But even though I remember almost everything out of it, and certainly looking forward to World War Z because I hear that's being turned into a movie. But,
movie news. I can drop some truths.
Okay.
On this program is I just found out, and it just went public on a French website, I think a few hours ago, George Romero's next film is going to be an adaptation of a book by one of my friends, Dr. Steven Schlossman, called The Zombie Autopsies. We don't know if he's going to keep the title, but that book came out this year and has been real influential, and I thought it was genius.
Yeah, because Romero's definitely been tied to the Of the Living Dead titles, you know?
Yeah, so it might be Autopsy of the Dead, very well, would be my guess. But that's going to probably start shooting, late next year maybe. So that is super exciting. I'm already asking Steven, like, can I please just be a zombie? Like, just let me be a backup zombie. I don't want to write the script. I don't want based on characters created by. I just want, let me be a zombie. So we'll see what happens.
Have you had the opportunity to meet Romero or talk to him at all?
I did at ZombieCon last year. I talked to him, and I was nervous because, without asking him or me, Best Buy started packaging my book, The Zen of Zombie, with his film Diary of the Dead as one pack, as like book plus movie.
I may have seen that actually.
Yeah, And I didn't know how Romero felt about it, and I thought, maybe he was like, who is Kenemore? Who is this jerk? I hate this guy. I didn't say this was cool.
Right.
So I was like really nervous, and he was like totally cool with it. He's just like the nicest man.
Yeah, he's sort of like I think people identify him as like the father of, modern zombie films and stuff. And
I think that's true.
And I know that Simon Pegg, from Shaun of the Dead, which I have to thank for my interest, because I used to be scared to death of zombies, and I saw that was my first experience with the comedy aspect, and I got to thank him for it. But he met Romero and apologized for how quick the stepdad's reanimation was. And Romero just pats him on the back. He's like, you know what? I don't care, basically. And he was really cool with it. He's like, you do whatever you want. And so that ties in with your tent, the blanket term for zombies.
Big tent, yeah, big tent zombies.
So, he sounds like a cool guy, and I know that he's along with you. He's on the board of the Zombie Research Society.
ZRS, yeah, Mr. Matt Moak, curator.
Yeah, and which we'll be talking to him shortly. I'd ask you more.
I'm envious of him because the ZRS guys in California always get to be on TV, and I'm in Chicago.
Yeah.
So I got to do Fox News once.
What do they?
So, they're always out where they're shooting stuff. We need a zombie expert.
Oh wow!
I'm totally jealous.
Yeah, that's pretty cool that they get talked to about that. Yeah, how did you get involved with the ZRS?
Matt just asked me to join, and I was like, okay. I have no idea if this is a legit organization or what it's going to do, but
yeah,
other people involved seem pretty cool, and I knew Jonathan Mayberry was a member. He blurbed my book. So I was like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, oopsie. Yeah, because I had seen that episode of Deadliest Warrior where him and Max Brooks were on the side for the zombies versus vampires. Yeah. So that's where I first became aware of it. And but I mean, it's cool that there's this group of experts on the matter that can offer up some insight and bring some legitimacy to what's going on.
And over half of them are PhDs or MDs.
Yeah,
interested in the brain science of it.
Yeah, there was
that's your thing. Those guys can talk. They have lots to say about it.
That was really cool. But yeah, to see the MD from Harvard and all the PhDs on there, I was really impressed by just.
Yeah, I gotta get another degree. I gotta go to med school. Stay on there. What am I gonna do?
I think it'd be nice to have a PhD just to say that I'm Dr. Positello or something.
There you go.
But
who's gonna get the first PhD in zombies? You know that's gonna happen.
Someone will.
You know it's gonna happen.
So but yeah, with your with the books, ZEO and Zen of the Zombie, the humor ones going into the novels, was that a hard transition at all, or was it just fun, or?
Not really, but I think I can say, any aspiring writers listening, it's real hard to get fiction published, even genre fiction about a popular topic.
Oh, really?
So I had, yes, and I'd always been trying to get novels published, but I think it took publishers seeing my good sales figures for my humor books.
Right.
To be like, all right, let's give them a shot with a novel. Part of being a writer is putting together a little resume that I can reliably deliver. Whatever. My books will sell 1,000 copies a week or whatever it is.
So just to kind of end things up here, what do you consider the most important thing about zombies, or what do you think viewers should know? If you could just ballpark a important thought.
Well, I like zombies because I feel like they're the opposite of vampires, which I don't like, and I'll explain, because I feel like vampires are always need to be fabulous and the center of attention.
Yeah, I was about to say they're glamorous,
fancy, right? And they don't just come up to you and suck your blood. They invite you to a castle in Transylvania first, or whatever it is. And zombies are way more like my personality, which is just a Joe six-pack, go in there, get things done without a lot of frou-frou. I'm just going to eat your brain. I'm not going to be fancy about it. I'm not going to be pretentious about it. And I wonder if that might be connected to the recession, because things are so hard right now.
Right.
That maybe fancy, decadent vampires, that's not really in vogue right now, because no one has those things.
Yeah, there's certainly an appeal to zombies.
It's there's a sort of brotherhood to it. It's always zombies.
All right, Scott. Well, yeah, we're gonna wrap things up here, but thank you so much for your time. And,
okay, man. Sure, it was fun.
Yeah, and we'll talk to you soon. Keep in touch.